I'm getting really worried about politicians now taking away our freedoms because they just didn't do their jobs in the first place, especially taking our free speech. The latest example, Anthony Albanese has done another backflip on mandatory sentences, and for just one reason. Because he was too weak for too long in fighting Jew hatred, and it's now blown up in his face. Just a couple of weeks ago, he was saying no to Opposition Leader Peter Dutton's dangerous and unliberal call for judges to be forced to jail people. No excuses. For 6 years for terrorist attacks, 3 years for financing terrorists, and a minimum of a year for having a hate symbol, whatever that might be.
There are issues of mandatory sentencing, of course, is something that can lead to issues which are counterproductive.
Now, Albanese was actually right 2 weeks ago. I mean, there is a reason for not having mandatory sentences. It really should be up to the judges who decide how long to throw someone in the clink or not at all, because they've heard all the evidence. I mean, the guilty person might just be some sort of moron who didn't know what he was doing, was under some kind of stress, now is ashamed. But 2 weeks later, Albanese's changed his mind. Last night, he sent his Home Affairs Minister into Parliament to say there would be mandatory sentences after all, but not just mandatory jail sentences for hate crimes against Jews, also mandatory jail for anyone threatening force or violence against people on the basis of their race, their religion, their nationality, national origin, ethnic origin, even their political opinion. Their political opinion. And of course, mandatory jail for hate against people for their sex, sexual orientation, gender identity and intersex status.
The toughest laws it's ever had against hate crimes.
Now, I would not be boasting about these now being the toughest laws ever in this country against free speech. I'd be wondering instead why we needed these toughest laws ever today when we never did before. And I would be saying sorry to the Australian people that this government handled things so badly that to fix it now, they must crack down even harder on our free speech.